Hey everyone, so we're going to take another look at the Valeton GP-50. I did a video on this the other day where I just got it, opened it up, played with it for about 24 hours, took it to a lesson, and kind of gave some of my first impressions. I've had nearly another week to actually get to play on it some more, and I've been playing on it a lot. And I have some thoughts on it, some things that I want to do and dive into. And one of those was starting to change some of the presets in it, but I thought that I would take the opportunity before I start changing all the presets to go through and name some of my favorites. There's about 50, I think, that are on here, just, no, 55 or something like that. That are preloaded, and then more that you can load in yourself. And rather than going through all 55 of those, which if I spend a minute a piece on it, it's going to take nearly an hour, what I decided to do is rank my top 10. And so I went through, picked the ones that I like, narrowed it down from there, so there's a few honorable mentions, and kind of came up with a list. That list is probably going to change today or tomorrow, and especially once I start changing things, I know that that's going to change. And my number one really surprised me, so I wanted to explain before I get into those kind of what I was doing. I'm in stomp box mode when I'm doing these, and it's really just my first impression of the way that it is presented, and not even just like the regular sound. I'm not going in and tweaking and changing things, but what's available within the stomp options. A lot of times it's a distortion or a reverb or a delay or a mod or some combination of it, and that was also taken into consideration, how good all that stuff was. So with all that in mind, let's switch our view and take a look at my opinion for some of my top 10 favorite factory presets within this pedal.
All right, so like I said, we're going to take a look at the 10 presets that I was the most impressed with off of this. I could have done a few more, but I figured 10 was a good even number. So let's take a look at these from 10 all the way up to 1. So my number 10 choice is this Fire Solo right here, which to me seems like it's based off of like the Fire Solo from Jimi Hendrix. I'm using my LTD guitar tuned to D standard, so I'm going to be a little bit off on this. Anyway, yeah, I liked this one. Again, there's plenty of other good presets on here to take a look at. But one of the things I want to consider was the stomp options as well with it. So these are just like the ones that are set to go. You have the mod, which can be turned on and off, the delay. Ooh, sounds like I've drifted out of tune. If you drift out of tune, you just go to that mode. I'll mute it for you guys. Probably overdue for a string change on this guitar, to be honest. But I love how fast I can access the tuner and how it looks, so might as well let you guys see this here too. Back to preset number 10. So if we take a look at it, noise gate is on. The pre-effect spot has a compressor. Then we have the green overdrive, which is a tube screamer. Flagman Plus is the amp with an EV 412. Reverb is a Hall. Yeah, so I like that one. I don't know that I'll use it a whole lot, but if I need it, it's good to know that it's there, and then I can dial it up. Let's see. So my number 9 choice was preset number 54, which is the Finger Acoustic. That pre. Sounds like it's a compressor. Let's look at the noise or the chain that we have here. We got gate, and then we have the distortion is here. Amp is this 14. Oh wait, what do you have? Yeah, the amp is this AC pre 2. The EQ is out here. And then all the way out there, that's interesting. They put the compressor all the way at the end. So there's a few of the effects that you can move around in the signal chain and a few of these that you cannot. And that's interesting. They consider the pre and the post to be like two separate things, which is really cool. But it's interesting they put the pre with this comp 4 all the way at the end of the chain. So that's the finger AC. I really like having an acoustic simulator on here. I've always felt like that's something that was missing from the Tone X. So here it is. Let's take a look at my number 8 choice, which is number 39. Number 39 is Lord's Love. And I can't really figure this one out, what they're going for. My best guess is that this is like some kind of church worship band type of lead. Or maybe you could do something like a... that's a little bit distorted, but you could kind of... Not really how I'm playing it, like you would play it in a church, but that's what I imagine they might have been going for. So the effects are compressor, distortion, SM distortion, Soldano 100. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not churchy. Soldano, I don't think of Soldano as a church amp. If you play Soldano in a church, let me know. Drop the comment in there. Let's see. Hall reverb. Yeah, it doesn't even have... We have a church reverb right there, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Either way, I like the way that it kind of sounds. It's a kind of a interesting alternative to the great pedal that I'll be covering here too, just to give you a heads up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, number 32, which is the Jazz 120CH. So obviously this is based off of a Roland Jazz Chorus, which I have found in the last few years to be probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, clean amp to use. A lot of cool bands that like use that amp. Of course, this is heavily modified, but, you know, more than I would probably use it. But you can hit that pedal, turn off that mod, still got that pre going. So it does clean up as a good, not like the acoustic simulator thing, it's definitely still an electric sound, but it's just a very, very clean sound. Let's take a look at the signal chain for it. So the gate is off. Wait, no. Yeah, what do we have? Yeah, the gate is off. Compressor is the first foot switch right there. Distortion is not on, but it has a tube screamer set to it. Jazz 120, obviously, with the 212 cab. Modulation is chorus A. Reverb is spring. So yeah, I like that one a lot, and that was, again, my number 7 choice. So my number 6, I kind of cheated on this one, and like I said, there will be some honorable mentions, but number 6 is actually more of a category, and it's the number 44 through 48. So the finger bass, pick bass, slap bass, bass drive, and even the muff bass. Now I'm playing guitar, but I'm just gonna... mess around on them for a second. What's that one got in the chain? Boost, bass overdrive, obviously. What amp is that? Matchless bass? No, Mesa Ace. Mesa bass, excuse me. 410. Let's see. Nothing on there. Okay. Bass drive, slap bass. Of course, I'm using a guitar pick on a guitar, but there you go. Let's see. Pre is obviously a compressor there. Pick bass. I bet it's a compressor. Yep, same thing. And finger bass. I bet it's the same thing. Yep. So slight variations on those. Maybe I'll have to do a deep dive with a bass to actually do these justice. But I felt like all of these combined kind of deserves the number 6 spot. Excuse me. For number 8, patch number 8 is going to be my number 5 choice, which is the Big Jazz. So just a very loud, clean sound. Not as washed out as the jazz chorus. But actually, you know what? If you go to the amp, it is a jazz chorus. With the same thing right there. It's just set up a little bit different. Don't even have any fancy EQ going on or anything. You do have EQ from the amp, the volume, bass, middle, treble, and bright in some cases there, but the EQ is going to give you more shaping capabilities to it. But yeah, I like this one. I feel like it works good for just like a straightforward, clean sound. If I need something that students can hear without extra stuff, this is gonna. It's gonna get all the notes out there that I'm looking for. Yeah, so that is Big Jazz. Let's tune again just to see if I've thrown myself out just doing this. Yeah, it's probably time for a string change on this guitar. Full disclosure, I like to use GHS strings a lot, not exclusively, but the one thing that I found about that brand is that they do tend to die out a little bit faster, but I really like the harmonic qualities while they are on and working and everything. So let's get back to it here. What do we have? Open my computer back up here. All right. Try to keep this as uncut as possible. Let's see. So from number 8, the Big Jazz setting, let's take a look at number 4, which is going to be 19, the Metallica. So guess what this is going for? It's Metallica. So it's gated, but it has a lot of reverb falling out from it there. We also have a delay set to this one. I like it. And the distortion. It'd be nice if it gave you more options than that, with it, like if it was a distortion and a clean, but that would be kind of tough to switch between because they use two different style of amps for their distorted and clean sound. But I like the distortion and how it kind of adds a little bit, it just adds a little extra fuzz to the tone, and the delay works with it too. It really only made it this high on my list because I play a lot of Metallica stuff, and I see this one being pretty handy to just be able to throw it somewhere, here, use this setting, there you go. Don't even have to worry about it. So that's my number 4. Closing out the top 3 here. I had one that was a surprise that snuck in here. So the next 2 were originally my 1 and 2. So number 3 we're going to be looking at is the setting number 22, the EV51 riff. So obviously this is based off of a 5150. So most of the time whenever I play live, I'm using some kind of PV amplifier, whether it's my Triple X or some form of a 5150 or something like that. So having something like this on here, and 5150s are so hard to get right, and you can have so many variations on it that are correct, but might just not be the right thing. And I like this one just for how it sounds, pulling it right up. You have the distortion. Just kind of makes it lean into it a little bit more. The signal chain isn't anything too crazy, I think. Tube Screamer, EV51, 412. Got the guitar EQ1, which is really just the parameters that you're able to adjust there. And hall reverb. Nothing too crazy on there. There's the Eddie solo right before it, but I feel like that one is... It's got a little bit too much going on. I kind of prefer this one on its own. So that's my number 3 choice. Before I do the final 2, I'll... excuse me. I'll cough, try to get that out. Go over a few of my honorable mentions that I almost put on the list, but then decided I liked something else a little bit better. So honorable mentions, we have number 23, which is the Twin Clean. I like this old time one. The luxury riff, yeah. I'll just keep playing on that. I might put it back on the list tomorrow. Twin Trim. I do like this one. Sounds good with the mod off. Sounds good with the delay. Yeah, that one could make it back into a list, or it might have been in the 15 or something if I did that. And the last one that I put in the honorable mentions was actually the Modern Core. And I get that that's a style that a lot of people are going to go to, and I do like the gate on it. As far as like its response and how it works, it's not really the gate that I would typically go for, but I feel like it works pretty well. Let's see what it is. Gate, sustain, volume, nothing too crazy. Everything seems to work. Compressor's not on. Green overdrive. Mesa, EQ, no reverb, obviously. So those are my honorable mentions. The number 2 spot is actually the first thing that you're going to hear whenever you turn this thing on. It's the great pedal sound. Turn off the delay. Still got a lot of reverb, but it's more usable as far as like actually being able to play a rhythmic riff, something rhythm tone. And then of course I feel like the distortion didn't change the tone a ton, and that was one of the things that I think kept this from being my number 1 spot. Was I just didn't feel like there was enough difference between the distortion being on and the distortion being off. If this was a more usable, versatile preset, just right out the box, I think that probably would have made it the number 1 sound. But just the way that is, you know what? it is a great pedal. When you turn this one on, it's a great setting for it. It's hard not to like this one, for me anyway. So I had to put it at my number 2, and really the number 1 spot that I have here. I have to be honest. I was surprised it made it on the list to begin with, and I was surprised that it climbed, and then I really had to think about putting it at number 1. But and it might get dethroned here soon, especially once I start changing patches here. But number 42, the Dual Rec 5, actually, I think wound up being my number 1 choice as far as the best for plugging right into it and getting a... All right. So, like I mentioned, normally whenever I'm playing live, it's some form of PV. Don't even know that I've ever actually played through a Mesa Boogie live. Nothing against them. It's just a very specific sound type of thing that's just slightly off from what I'm usually typically doing. And it's nice to have those 5150 amps on here, but like I mentioned a few minutes ago, they can be all over the place. They can and still be correct. There's a lot of variation to that tone that people are wanting there, but it feels like a dual rectifier is something that people have been modeling for a long time, even back to like my Digitech stuff. They have rectifiers on them there that are halfway decent, and this one feels as good as any of them that I've experienced anyway. And I just like I don't know, it's not a huge difference between the sound with the distortion on and off, but I feel like it's a nice difference between them, and the delay is a nice added feature to it as well. It's kind of dialed in just at a good sweet spot right there. So again, I really wanted to get this video out before I started like changing presets, because I'm definitely going to start doing all that. But I wanted you, as someone who was looking at this, trying to decide where to start if you're looking at getting into this, what you'll be looking at right out of the box. So from this point, I probably am going to start covering things and saving changes and things like that. But I hope that this has been helpful for you, or that you've enjoyed this, or it's helped you make your decision or feel better about it, whatever it is there. I would encourage people to check out something like this Valeton GP-50, even more so than the Tonex, I think, because of the ease of use. Being able to just get it going in minutes. I've got a lot of experience with Tonex, Line 6, things like that, but I feel like even without that experience, this does not have a learning curve nearly as bad as some of those other products do. So let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. I appreciate your time taking a look at this, and hope that this is helpful. Leave a comment if you have a favorite patch, or you agree or disagree. I'd like to hear either way from you. And yeah, subscribe, like. I'm going to be doing more videos on this pedal. I haven't even touched the looper on it, but I will do that at some point as well. So anyway, check it out and have fun, and I will see you soon.